Well, I'd like to thank those that helped set up today. The Chamber of Commerce and Carrie, thank you so much for hosting again this year. This has been a nice tradition, I think, that we've started over the last several years. I'd also like to thank Supervisor Lyons for giving us the invocation and Councilman Morris for leading us in the pledge. Our Territorial Young Marines for posting the colors today. Let's give them a round of applause. They do a lot of work. It's just so good to see our youth engaged in giving back to their community and recognizing the work that our Marines do to protect our country. I'd like to thank Yuma Insurance. I didn't say group, so I think I'm still okay. That's just one word off. Yuma Insurance, again for sponsoring again this year, and then all the sponsors on the screen. I'm not going to read through them. You can watch them during lunch. So welcome to the State of the City. Last year we celebrated our 110th year as a city. And we spent a lot of time looking through history and talking about the people that built our community that we're building on today and all their work. And as I was putting together this presentation, this just hit me, right before our presentation. The word that kept coming up as we look forward look to this last year and look forward to next year. This word that keeps coming up is busy. So you're going to hear me say that quite a bit as we move forward through this presentation. So as this is essentially what we're going to be doing here is working through this agenda. You always have to have an agenda if you're an elected official. And so we're going to first look to the past a little bit and then see the accomplishments and then look into the future. So this past year, again, was a very busy and successful year with a lot of change. Speaking of change, the grant efforts of the city has been very substantial. For the last year and a half, we have generated over $22 million in funding that didn't come from the local Yuma taxpayers. And that's not just in one department. It touches nearly every department in the city and a lot of organizations. But definitely one of the departments that receives quite a bit of grant funding, because everyone likes to play and to be busy. Playing is one of those things that helps distract you, is our Parks and Rec department and all their activities. Whether it was donors like Meetup that contributed hundreds of thousands of dollars towards the inclusive playground equipment in the East Mesa Park and all of our parks, or most of our parks, as well as federal grants that have assisted us in our irrigation system renewal at our golf course. These are all funds that truly address needs that our community has and really impacts in a very positive way our local taxpayers and builds our quality of life. During our Parks, Arts, Recreation, and Trails Master Plan, we listened to the community. And so this year was the year that we started implementing the effects of that plan. In there, we heard about the East Mesa Park. We heard about the Kennedy Skate Park. And we heard about the conditions of some of our playground equipment. Well, the Parks and Rec group got busy. We broke ground on the East Mesa Park. We cut the ribbon on the Kennedy Skate Park. And 9 of the 11 playgrounds that were identified for upgrades received them this year, and the last 2 are coming on in the next couple months. They have been busy. But there's also difficulties, right? I think part of the state of the city is to make sure that you talk about everything. And so some of our difficulties are going to come up here through this presentation, and one of them is the Smucker Park condition. You know, we have a lot of concern that we've heard through the community about the park. The council has shared the same concerns. And really what's happening is the contractor for the Yuma County Flood Control District is building a storm drainage detention facility. And that requires breaking a few eggs, causing some disruption in the park. Now, we've been working very closely with Yuma County to make sure that we reestablish water to our trees, to our grass, and looking for a way to address the loss of the trees that did make it through a rather harsh summer, and the lack of water didn't play out well for them. So we're working very close with the county to get that done. And I'm confident when this construction gets complete, I don't have a date, but when that construction gets complete, we will have the park back that we all know and love and be made whole again. This year we've had a lot of change in leadership for the city. We said goodbye to Emily Shoup and Michael Sheldon in their roles as city council members, serving the Yuma very well. Our Councilmember Chris Morris was re-elected by the people of Yuma to continue his service to the community. Councilmember Karen Watts returned to council after a small hiatus. And then our true new council member, Mark Martinez, also joined us this year. We had Carol Smith promoted to deputy mayor, which just really means whatever I can't be at, she's got to cover, which will keep her busy. And I didn't want to leave out Councilman Morales. I didn't have an update for him, but he just continues to serve in his first term, so wanted to make sure I recognize all of council, which leads me to the last person, and that is when Councilman Gary Knight passed away last year, the council really were very thoughtful on how to proceed, and we wanted to promote somebody in that position that knew Gary, that was dedicated and had worked with him, and that could truly honor his service. And so the council agreed to bring back Leslie McClendon to serve in his role. Not an easy thing to do, but Leslie, she stepped right in without missing a beat, and that's what we needed as a community. And Yuma still has the distinction of being one of the few remaining cities in the state of Arizona that elects our municipal court judge. We're the only one, I've been corrected. We're the only city in the state of Arizona that elects our municipal court judges. And this year, retired YPD Detective Greg Counts was elected by the people of Yuma to fill that open seat. Speaking of YPD, we've been working for the last several years to ensure that we have a strong and professional department for the people of Yuma. And the biggest challenges we've faced is staffing, and that is something that the whole nation has had a hard time between the defund the police movement and just people not wanting to, good people not wanting to step forward to face that kind of scrutiny. Well, I'm pleased to announce that this year we've had the lowest staffing shortage we've had in over 10 years, and that's a 7%, which is a really low level for our sworn police officers. That hard work can be attributed to a lot of different things. One of them is the pay scale that we put in place. And the other thing is investments to things like the Arizona Western Law Enforcement Training Academy, which allows us to do the training for our new officers here in Yuma in partnership with the other agencies in the area. When you step out this door and you look to the right, it's right there. AWC is a great partner in making that happen, and that's going to pay out for Yuma and all the agencies in Yuma for years to come. The other things that has happened in the department is being smarter about addressing the pain points that we have. We've established the Park Patrol, because parks end up being one of those things that we need a little bit of addressing, and so being proactive and being out in our parks. And then we established the RAVE school safety system through a grant through the state, where we have the ability to communicate nearly instantaneously with schools when they're hitting a lockdown situation. Those kind of things give us the most effectiveness and responsiveness for our police in the community. Our fire department opened fire station number 7. And that again is because of the busy nature of response into the East Mesa. They also spearheaded the first in the nation deployment of U.S. Navy SEAL equipment on the U.S. border. So U.S. Navy SEALs use this equipment that we have received here at the Yuma Fire Department and with some other agencies they use it to scale ships. Our life-saving members use it to scale a 30-foot high border wall. The only way we've been able to do that before is to pull a ladder truck from the city, drive it through some pretty rough terrain, and take it out of use for the city. So now our men and women in the fire department can rescue people off the top of the 30-foot high wall with some very tried and true equipment that you'll see at the border. So you can see them there practicing. It's pretty high up, and people get up there and they don't know how to get down. So there's only two ways down at that point. Either they fall down or we go get them. So we have the ability to go get them a whole lot more effectively. So that's a great addition and a lot of forward thinking from our fire department. With the growth of Yuma, you can't think of growth without, well, as an engineer, I can't think of growth without utilities and public works. Maybe other people would, but from our public works department, they've been, again, very busy, and this is the time of year where there's a lot of roadway maintenance going on. We've just completed our twice-a-year neighborhood cleanup, which is a big